Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Guys, I have something to share with you. Some of you guys know, but just because I'm this person who likes to learn and share this information with you guys. Just like I told you, I share finance, economics, and accounting principles, systems as well, and methodologies, right? For you there at home. Okay, so today I want to share these things that you should avoid. These are traps, guys. These are traps, right? These traps have been happening throughout the generations. Understand? I'm talking about the boomers, the millennials. Understand? The Gen Z, right? The Gen X, and what we call right now the alphas, the Gen Alphas. Okay, so these are the traps that my mentor, understand, when I was with her, she set me down and she was like, if you want to be successful in life, you should avoid these traps. Understand? You should avoid these traps. And I'm sharing these traps with you guys in real time. Okay, so these are the traps. Alright, so these are the traps that you, there at home, you should avoid. Okay, so I'm going to share these traps. Okay, so traps you should avoid. Okay, so these are the traps that you should avoid, guys. Listen attentively. Okay, so the first trap that you should avoid, okay, it happened on the boomers. Okay, I made some notes. Okay, so it happened on the boomers. Okay, so one, it happened on the boomers. Okay, which this trap was a house trap. Which this trap was a house trap. Okay, so it was a house trap. Okay, so how was this trap a house trap? Like, how does it actually fit on these traps that I'm actually trying to share with you guys? Which these are house traps. I mean, these are things and traps that you should avoid. Okay, so during the time of the boomers, when the boomers were starting to work, understand, they were encouraged to buy houses. Understand? Not to buy houses to rent them out, but to buy houses to own them. And guess what? They told them that, oh, right, I have to do that. They told them that a house is equal to what we call an asset. A house is equal to what we call an asset. A house is equal to what we call an asset, right? I read Robert Kiyosaki's book, right, where he explained that a house, Chomza, right, it doesn't equal an asset. It is not an asset. So for you, right, trying to save up to buy a house, just know that a house is what we call a liability. Okay, so it's not an asset, my friend. Okay, it's what we call a liability, right? In your books, just put it as in like it's a liability, right? There's a reason behind that. Although in the books, probably financial books, they classify it as an asset. Understand? There's a reason behind that. Okay, but we'll explain that in another time. Okay, but for now, just take it as a liability. The reason why it's a liability is because it's something that you are not using to generate income, to generate rental income, especially when you are staying in that house, right? This is very important. Okay, so this is the first trap that happened on the boomers. Okay, this is number one. Okay, the second trap, guys. The second trap. Okay, this second trap happened on Gen X. Okay, so this second trap, it happened on Gen X. Okay, this second trap was the founder trap. Okay, it's what we call the founder trap. Okay, it's what we call the founder trap. Understand? The reason why I said the founder trap is because I meant to explain it like this. So good team. Many people in those days, they were so encouraged to a point that they felt burnt out on the corporate world. Understand? They saw how the boomers, they were so burnt out about the corporate world, and then they decided to be like, okay, you know what? Let us start our own companies instead of joining a company. Understand? Right? So a lot of people, okay. So a lot of people, they were like, let us start our own company instead of joining what we call corporate. Okay? Okay? So they were like, let us start our own company instead of joining corporate. Understand? Instead of being part of someone else's establishment, right? To gain exposure, to gain experience, understand? And over time, learning a set of skills, right? And actually selling that skill, either as a freelancer, a contractor, or you can actually start your own business, right? So that's the problem. It's because people thought that, okay, you know what, we can just ditch corporate and just start our own thing. But it's not that simple, okay? It's not that simple. Understand? You should have capital resources. You should have resources to actually fund that establishment that you're actually creating. Understand? Especially capital resources. Understand? You should have network, understand, that will actually work for you. Understand? Within that specific field that you want to actually specialize in. Right? So this is very important that if you want to start something, the best way to actually do it is to join an establishment and learn as much as you can. For 5 to 10 years, be within that establishment and learn. Understand? And if you want to continue, or maybe if this thing now is like, okay, you know what, I can't keep on being in a company, forever or whatsoever. Understand? Just start your own freelancing company. Understand? Or maybe be a contractor. Understand? In the same company, if you want to. Understand? But if they don't want to, understand, to change that contract, then you become a contractor elsewhere. Understand? But the most important thing is for you to learn. Understand? Don't rush on starting your own establishment. Don't rush on starting your own company. This is what I am telling you. Understand? The best way in order for you to prepare for your life is to learn. Understand? And learning takes time. Learning takes time. I will share with you how you can actually plan your life, right? So that you can learn and actually use what you have learned and actually make money off that. Understand? But for now, this is what you should know. Understand? That the way of thinking of the founder trap, understand? I'm not disregarding, you starting your own thing. Understand? I'm not regarding it. But then I'm regarding this thought of Woody, I'm gonna leave what I am doing, my corporate life, understand, right? And actually start something, understand? Without having experience of that thing, understand? Just play around with it for a while, understand? And then you're gonna start it, understand? Just give yourself 5 years at least, right? So this is a trap that my mentor shared with me, that I shouldn't be part of this trap. Understand? It's the best way is to take your time, learn from your elders, learn from your leaders, understand, within that corporate space. Understand? I know that, corporate is very challenging for some people, but then the most important thing that you should have in your mind, the mentality that you should have the mentality of curiosity and actually building your skill and having that discipline over time. All right, so we move on to what we call the millennials. Okay, is it correct? Millennials. Okay, so millennials. That's another name. Okay, so the millennials, right? They had what we call the travel trap. Okay, they had what we call the travel trap. So what happened in the travel trap for the millennials? What happened, right, in the travel trap for the millennials is that they had this thing in mind that, okay, I make money, or maybe I just take out a loan, understand, to fund my own travel adventures. They had the thing you would see one life, okay, your memory, understand? It's very important. It's more like, it's your legacy in a sense. Understand? You live one life. Understand? They had that thing. You only live once. Understand? So with that type of a mindset, they were like, you know what? Since the money that I'm making each and every single month, it doesn't sustain me to go where I want to be, I can make use of my credit card to actually fund that. Or maybe if my credit card as well cannot fund that, I can make use of what we call a loan. Then they take out loans. Understand? They take out loans to do what? They take out loans to fund their lifestyle. Okay, so they take out debt, understand, to fund what we call their lifestyle. Okay, of which what is it called nowadays? It's called what? Lifestyle creep, they say. Understand? So they take up that to actually fund their lifestyle. And when that happens, is that you are not aware that you are stealing your future gains. You are stealing your future profits. Understand? Because now you have to work 2 times harder, understand, for you to actually give back the amount that you have borrowed together with the interest. Understand? So it's very important that you do not fall through this travel trap. Understand? I'm not saying that do not travel guys, but then make sure that you have money so that you can actually travel. Understand? You do not take out a loan. You don't take out maybe a credit or something. Understand? You make sure that you save up. You have a set of budget. Understand? For you to actually travel. Do you understand me? So that is very, 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 very important, guys. Right? This is another trap, right? So let's go to the next one, which this next trap. Let me take this thing off. This trap is what we call the Gen Z or Gen. Oh yeah, Gen Z. So this trap is a Gen Z trap. Understand? The Gen Z trap, of which I am part of this one. A part of this generation, right? This generation, it's what we call the status trap. It's what we call the status trap. Everyone wants to be seen these days. Everyone wants to be seen these days. It's something else. You want to be seen wearing that new sneaker. You want to be seen wearing that new jean. You want to be seen wearing that new top. Understand? You want to be seen wearing that new cap. Understand? So you want to be seen everywhere that you have actually made it. Honestly, guys, as I am growing older and I'm going to these places that I'm going, I realize that as I'm part of people who have made it in life, understand, and then they are actually giving me this knowledge that they are giving me, and I notice that they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck if you come there wearing an azimbadada, or maybe your slippers or whatsoever, understand, and then you're wearing, a shorty and you're just rocking your t-shirt, understand. They don't give a fuck. They don't want this thing to be Nike. They don't want this to be probably Adidas, understand, right? Don't get me wrong, those are good brands, understand. You should wear them, yes, but then honestly, they don't give an F, understand. Like, they don't, understand. You can come with whatever that you want, understand, right? But then they don't give an F, understand. They don't give an F about the car that you drive, understand, right? As long as it's a good car, as long as it takes you from A to B, understand, right? They don't give an F where you stay. Understand? I mean, those guys that I meet with, they stay in affluent places. Understand? And Mina, I stay in another place. But then it's not the place that is the same as them. Understand? But then they don't care if I come from a different place. Understand? That's what I'm just trying to tell you. They don't care. Understand? They don't care. Understand? So the status trap It's very, very important. Understand? You know, buy what you want to buy, but make sure that you can afford it 3 times. Make sure that you can afford it 3 times. All right? So make sure that you avoid their status trap. Okay? Make sure that stop looking rich and start being rich. It's so like, you know, like when I look at those guys, honestly, if you can, you know, start doing. If you can meet one of them in the street, you can say this guy doesn't have anything, but these guys buy their own flats, their own, you know, farms. They just own a lot of things. So when I'm with that, I'm like, wow, like, it's like I would literally pass you in the street and not ask your advice. I would like literally pass you in the street and not ask your advice, right? It's because the way about going on, understand, the way that they've won, understand. I am convinced now that the people who are very wealthy are the people, are the people that we look down. Understand? So it's very important not to look at someone and be like, oh, this one. All right. So the last one is the alpha. The last one is the alpha. It's gene alpha, they say. Okay? Gene alpha, they have this thing of the freedom trap. Understand? They have this thing that we call a freedom trap. Understand? The freedom trap. Okay? What did I write here? Okay. Oh, okay. I wrote there that there's nothing called freedom. There is nothing called freedom. For people who have freedom, they'll lose their mind no matter how wealthy you are. There's nothing called freedom. There's this term, financial freedom, of which people define it incorrectly. Understand? There's this call that freedom, free life, in a sense. Understand? You are never free. This is the game. This is the game. This is life. You should play it. Understand? No matter how wealthy you are, no matter how much money you have, understand, you should play the game of life. You should be among people. You should be among a system, understand, and actually create a system for yourself within the system. Don't try to destroy the system, because the system will destroy you. Don't try to destroy the system. Either create a system within the system or be in the system. Okay? So this is very important, the freedom trap, right? The freedom trap. Understand? There's nothing called freedom. There's nothing called freedom. Okay? So know that. There's nothing called freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the traps that you there at home, you should avoid. For me, thank you very much. See you next time, guys, on my next video. Right? Peace out. Bye.